Let's go, guys. We are officially less than 500 subscribers away from reaching the 1,000 mark. 1,000 subscribers means I can make more videos, you can watch more videos. I want to talk more New York Giants football, and I know you guys want to stay up to date on the latest news, the latest Giants rumors, everything that's surrounding the New York football Giants. So let's do that. Help me out. The bosses are ready for this channel to explode, and the only way we're going to do that is if you guys smash that subscribe button. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers ASAP. Moving on and the next topic here on the New York Giants now is the outlook of the offensive line. A lot of talk was made about how the Giants didn't select an offensive lineman in the 2021 NFL draft, but they spent 3 draft picks on the offensive line in the 2020 draft. They drafted Andrew Thomas. They drafted Matt Peart. They drafted Shane Lemieux. They have a youth movement going right now. They cut Kevin Zeitler to create cap space to sign guys like Kenny Golladay this offseason. But it's just the youth movement on the offensive line is real and it's underway. I mean, the average age of the projected starters is 23.8. This is a young offensive line that has a bunch of potential, and it's really young, and they're just getting into form. I mean, here's a look at the Giants offensive line, projected Giants offensive line depth chart. A lot of beat writers that cover the New York Giants, they said this is the offensive line that was getting the snaps and OTAs with the first unit, and it's Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Shane Lemieux at left guard, Nick Gates at center, who has a lot to prove this year, Will Hernandez, a guy who has even more to prove this year, and Matt Peart, a third-round draft pick last year who played periodically, was up and down, had to be subbed out a lot because he was unsuccessful, but I believe he'll take the next step. We also got a guy like Nate Solder who's coming back. He opted out of the 2020 NFL season for COVID reasons. He's a guy that will be able to be a swing tackle. If Thomas is messing up, he can slide in there. If Peart is messing up, he can slide in there. And Dave Gettleman, he addressed everybody talking about, why did the Giants not draft an offensive lineman in the 2020 NFL draft? And he said, it's really apparent that we have a little more confidence in our offensive linemen than you guys do. So I'm just going to say we're happy with the group that we have. Right now, our offensive line is what it is. The players are who they are, and we're going to move forward. The Giants' offensive line needs to take a step next year. It's time for this group of young guys to come in and take that next step, show that they're able to block for a guy like Saquon Barkley because he needs it. This offensive line and this offense, it's going to rely on Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley relies on the offensive line. If this offensive line can take the next step, like a lot of people are talking about, and they've shown that they've been able to be successful, the limitations and the expectations for the offense is really endless. And if we take a look at the left tackle, Andrew Thomas, this is a big year for him. Yeah, it's only year 2, but it's time for him to play like he was drafted number 4 overall, because he was. It was really an up and down season in 2020 for him, but he dealt with injuries. He had off-season surgery. He was up and down, but I really think he's going to take the next step. And even a very famous offensive line scout, Duke Manyweather, he's worked with Thomas this offseason. He studied his tape. He said, I think you'll see massive improvements from Andrew Thomas, and I believe so as well, and the Giants are really counting on it. The Giants need Andrew Thomas to hit. They drafted him 4th overall in the 2020 NFL draft, and there was a lot of tackles behind him that frankly played better than him and made him look like it was a wasted pick at number 4 overall. If the Giants can get Andrew Thomas, he doesn't need to be a Hall of Famer. He doesn't need to be a Pro Bowler, but just be a guy that's reliable, someone that Daniel Jones has trust in that can protect his blind side. Thomas needs to take that next step forward for this Giants offense to take the next step forward. And I got a question for you guys. This is an interactive YouTube channel. I need you guys to go down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Will Andrew Thomas break out in the 2021 NFL season? If you think he will, if you think he'll live up to that number 4 draft type 1 for yes. If you think, I don't know, he didn't really look that good as a rookie, type 2. Let me know. I'm typing my 1 down in the comments because I think he will bounce back. But if you disagree, smash that 2 in the comment section and let me know. The next guy we're going to look at is Shane Lemieux. He's the projected starting left guard for the New York Giants, and last year, he wasn't a starter. He came on and he played late in the season. He took over the left guard starting spot from Will Hernandez. Lemieux is a guy, he's tough in the trenches. He's rough and rugged. He's a pulling guard. And he's going to be able to create running lanes for Saquon Barkley. And at center, we have Nick Gates. Nick Gates is a guy who's really just shown everybody that he's here to stay. A lot of people, as an undrafted guy, said, what is this guy doing? We need to address the center position in free agency and the draft. But he showed last year that he was able to hold down that spot and be a productive starter in the NFL. And at right guard, this is the biggest question mark on the Giants' offensive line. Will Hernandez. He was a second-round draft pick out of UTEP in 2018, the same draft as Saquon Barkley, and he had a solid rookie season. But since then, he's really struggled. And in Jason Garrett's system, he only played 52% of the snaps in 2020. And that's because he struggled at left guard. In Garrett's system, the left guard is a pull-happy guard. They pull that guard a lot. And Will Hernandez, just honestly and brutally, he doesn't have that foot speed and quickness to do that. This is why I think they'll slide him to the right guard. He'll be able to be a mauler and a road paver that he is and has shown that he's able to do. And I think this is just a huge year for him. This is the last year of his rookie deal. And if he wants to remain a New York Football Giant, the time is now. He needs to live up to that number, the second round draft pick status. I mean, it's time to show everybody why you were that second round draft pick. At right tackle, we got Matt Peart. He was a third-round selection out of UConn last year. He really had an up-and-down season. He was kind of the swing tackle that played a little bit of left tackle when Andrew Thomas was struggling. He mainly played right tackle, but he also had to be taken out of some games because, brutally, he just wasn't ready. He's a really raw prospect, but his ceiling is extremely high. He's athletic. He's strong. He's actually fleet of foot, and I just think he's a guy that really needs to take that next step for this Giants offensive line to be the real deal. But if he struggles or if Thomas struggles like they did last year, Nate Solder is coming back. He opted out of the 2020 season, and the Giants gave this guy a massive contract a couple off seasons back. And he just frankly hasn't lived up to that expectation. He struggled. He's battled with some injuries. He opted out. He wasn't there for them in the 2020 season. But if a guy like Matt Peart or a guy like Andrew Thomas struggles to be consistent and productive, the Giants will be able to throw Solder in right away. And once again, let's take another look at this Giants offensive line. And I just think it's highlighted by youth. You can clearly tell that there's a youth movement going on. And it's a youth movement going on. The average age of the projected starters for the New York Giants is 23.8 years old. It has to be one of the youngest offensive lines in the NFL. And it's time. They may be young, but the time is now because this is a team that's ready to win now, and it has a lot of pressure on them. Daniel Jones, third year in the NFL. It's time to show why he's there. Saquon Barkley, he's entering his fifth-year option year. The Giants need to make a decision. But I got a question for you guys. Go down in the comments section. Let me know what you think. What is your confidence level in the New York Giants offensive line? Is it, and scale it from on a scale of 1 to 100. Right now, I'm at about a 75. I really think I do see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I've also been a little bit, I've expected too much in the past from them in the before, and I've been hurt. I'm a Giants fan. I'm ready for this team to take the next step, and for this team to take the next step, it's reliant on the offensive line.